Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. This is a red alert. This is one of, if not the most important video I have ever made that I am sending out, and I'm not sensationalizing anything at all. Here is what has happened this morning where I live. I'm going to tell you what has happened here. I'm going to bring you a dream that my dad had last night. And then I'm going to give you a word that the Lord has given me from February 2023. So please listen to the very end. You need to hear the word that I wrote in my journal. Now then, today is September 9th, 2023. Here is what has happened this morning. I made a video already. I didn't post it, but I already made a video where I had read on the video the February 2023 passage in my journal. I had already decided to use that and bring that to you today. From the time I made the video to now, which is 1 in the afternoon, I made the video at 9:30 this morning, this is now 1 in the afternoon, I have gone over to my parents' house to check on them, and my dad said, I have a dream. I had a dream. I have a dream for you to write down. He's never had a dream like this one before. It is a nuclear war dream. It is a nuclear attack dream. And there are details to it. Some of it I do not understand, and I'm going to need your help. Please help me understand and decipher this. We believe this dream is prophetic and from God. I believe my passage in the journal is from God. It was while I was in worship. So those are the things that are happening. And to add on to that, a B-1 bomber flew over my house this morning. I kid you not. We got video of it. A B-1 bomber flew low over our house this morning. I think that must have happened on August 23rd. I think that must be what we had heard that night. It was so loud. We got it on video. It's on my daughter's phone, so I don't even know if I can figure out how to bring it to you or not. She saw it with her own eyes, and we have been researching the B-2 bomber and the B-1 bomber. So we're familiar with the way those aircraft look. And my daughter said, Mom, it was a B-1 bomber flying low over our house. It shook us. That happened this morning between 9:30 and now 1. So there are things happening, and that's why I'll get to this dream. I'm just going to get to this dream. I do not know. There are several things that I don't understand. Any dreams that you are having, please post them. Any words from God that are warnings, please post them. I have never felt this sense of urgency. If you want to email me, GinaLimaCharlie@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Tell me what's going on, what you're seeing. All right, so here is the dream my dad had this last night. Today is September 9th, 2023. I was on a couch. Scratch that. I'll speak it as if it's him, okay? I'll use the pronoun. September 9th, 2023. He was on a couch, my dad, in the living room watching TV. A lady came in and sat with him. She just from nowhere appeared, came in, sat beside him. She was watching the TV too. An older woman came in and sat down to watch the TV also. And the older woman said, do we have any snacks to eat while we're watching? And my dad said yes, and he went into another room, came out, and he had shredded wheat cereal, like little squares of shredded wheat cereal for her. The younger woman, the woman that came in first, all of a sudden said, no, you can't use that. We have to keep those. So my dad went back into the room, put the shredded wheat up and he got a bag of corn chips. And he came back out with the corn chips. Once again, the younger woman said, "No, we have to keep those. Don't eat those." So my dad put the corn chips back, came sat on the couch, watching TV, and then there was what he described as a disturbance sound that made them get up and go outside. And in the distance, there was a column of an explosion getting taller and taller and taller, and then it turned into a mushroom cloud. And my dad said, "That's an atomic explosion." And they were standing there near an overpass. So an overpass had appeared over them, and they were standing under the overpass. And they knew they were going to get the shock wave. And sure enough, they saw the rings of shock waves coming towards them. They could see them. And so they all got behind the concrete pillars of the overpass. And suddenly, a woman was there with 2 kids. My dad thought that must be his wife, and then my sister and I, the 2 kids. They were all there, and the 4 of them were very baffled. And it felt like, what are we going to do? That's what the feeling was. What are we going to do? And at that time, as soon as they were wondering, what are we going to do? Kaboom! There was another explosion and another mushroom cloud in the distance. And my dad said, "We have to put as much distance between us and the shock waves." So he grabbed the 2 kids and began running across this open field. And he just was thinking, there is no place to hide. There is no place to get away from this. None. But as they were running, he saw a building. And he went into the building with the woman and the 2 children. And when they walked inside, they saw sheetrock and tools and things, as if the building had been being worked on inside. They went to a room, and the room they went in was already completed. There was a window in the room, and he looked out the window, and he knew it was a military Air Force base, because he saw there was one big plane that was there in the window that he could see. The woman sat beneath the window, and my dad told her, "No, that window will shatter when the shock waves come over here by my wall." And the shock wave did come, and it passed over, but it wasn't too bad. At that point, my dad looked at the window again, and there was a man looking in the window. And my dad knew him. It was as if he knew this man. This man was a good man. And my dad told him to come inside. And when the man came inside, he told him, "I've been working on this building. I'm the one that's been making the repairs on it." And the man said, "This is not a good place to stay, but it will do for now. And there's water. The water here is fine." At that point, my dad and that man went outside, and they could see the 2 mushroom clouds still there, billowing in the distance. Then the point of view changed, and the dream changed, and my dad's point of view was like looking above the mushroom clouds. He was above them, and he could see they were still boiling up. He could see the column and the mushroom clouds and it coming up. And then he saw the shock waves going out from the explosion. And he just said to himself, "How many people were killed?" And he heard a voice that said, 400. And he said it was when he was at the building looking at the explosion with the man outside, it was as if those 2 columns formed the number 11. That's what they looked like. They were side by side, like the number 11. That's the end of the dream. I'm not going to talk about interpretation at this moment. I'm going to read to you what I wrote in my journal on February 25th, 2023. I asked God, is there something you would like to tell me about this shaking that is coming? And this is what I heard. The nations will weep and mourn and cry out. The dead will lay in piles of scorched bodies. Many will say God did this and turn away in hardness. Some will say God did this and turn to me in repentance. But I say the sin of man did this. And I am now allowing that sin to have its full effect on the face of the earth. You are about to see, child, the blow of sin across the planet. Death marches near. But my remnant will come near me and find shelter there. Joy will abound with them while the shaking is occurring. Nothing will touch them, for my hand of protection is over them now. Fear not, but rejoice, the time is near. Hold on to me during this shaking, for I am the rock, the unmovable rock of your salvation. So I asked, is this nuclear war you speak of, or is it another illness that goes around the planet? How close are we to nuclear war, is what I asked, Father. And this is what I heard. You are but seconds away. The fear that will consume the earth at that time will be as strong and high and devastating as the cloud of mushroom-shaped destruction. You, child, know already in your heart, this is what's coming, for I have shown you. Be not dismayed. Instead, follow me. Stand at the ready. The Lord is near. I really, honestly don't think that needs a lot of commentary, y'all. There are things in the dream I don't understand. I find it... I had already made a video where I had read that passage before I even knew my dad had dreamt this. The Lord had already showed me that. I had already been in prayer. What should I make a video on today? And the Lord showed me that. And I made the video. I've deleted it because it was nothing compared to this. Then as and I couldn't even get it. I couldn't even get the video uploaded. That's another thing. So I think God was like, no, your mourning needs to play out, because this is serious crap, y'all. You may do with this information as you will. I do not trust my emotions at this point in my day. I do not trust my emotions enough to say, oh yeah, this is literally going to happen. Because in my mind, I'm like shaking and going, yeah, this is literally going to happen. I think I need to be in prayer and take a step back and have a night's sleep and kind of grow in wisdom. I need to think about this for a little bit before I sit here on this video and say, y'all better get ready, this is going to come. But from where I sit right now, it looks like there's a shaking coming. Why the women came in to the living room and watched that, I don't know if that represents the remnant. Maybe. They were standing under an overpass. I think that was the remnant, like the Passover. Overpass, Passover. when the children were delivered from Egypt, the Passover night, when they had the blood on the doors, on the door, and the death angel passed over them. I think in this dream, God is saying, this shaking is coming. It's coming, y'all. But the remnant is going to be okay. And then he said that in my journal. "11 is chaos." I think that the building they were in that wasn't quite finished is like, there is no way I can be prepared enough for this. I'm not going to be finished. I mean, there's no way. But I'm in a good enough spot, and I think y'all are probably in a good enough spot if you're holding on to Jesus right now. I also think the food. There's reference to the food, like nearly rationing it at the very beginning. I think that the building was by an Air Force base. To me, it's very indicative of that's personal for our family. That's a message for our family, that it's we are going to be here when this happens. I don't think it necessarily means that we're going to see the explosions, although we don't live far from Pantex, and things are going on at Pantex. Tune in to New York Prepper. The last few red alerts he's had, emergency alerts, they're quite compelling. A B-1 bomber flying over my house. Y'all, I have lived here for 35 years. I can promise you, there has never been a B-1 bomber flying over my house before that I saw, that I heard, with the exception of whatever happened on August 23rd, 2023. Whatever that was, that's what I think it might have been 2 of them, to tell you the truth. Why? Why would that happen? That's not normal. I can sit here and tell you a lot of things I'm seeing that flat aren't normal, y'all. My dad was shaking, telling me this dream a while ago. I just now got back from their house and made this video. I'm stocking water. I'm topping off my preps today. Don't panic. The remnant was under the overpass. There was protection upon them. They were given a house to stay in. So it will be okay for us. I want to give you hope. Our Father promises He will protect us, and He keeps His promises. Turn to Him now. It's not too late. Turn to Him now and hold on. He is the rock of our salvation. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.